Hello guys, I hope you're fine. Today we are going to talk about the Newton forward difference interpolation formula, which is a well-known formula in numerical analysis. And there are many formulas for equally spaced data. Equally spaced data means the difference between these to given if the difference between these values, these data were equal, then we will use Newton forward interpolation, Newton backward, Newton central, and there are many formulas like that. Okay, if the difference between these two values mean 0 point, to subtract these values from this one uh, were equal 0.71 to subtract these values from this one. If the difference between these values and the difference between these values are equal, to subtract x, it is if we give x x naught, x1, x2, x3, x4. If we give x naught, the value x naught, then if we subtract x2 minus x1, if we do like that, if we subtract x these values from this one, and if this the difference between these values and the difference between these values were equal, then we will use Newton forward interpolation, Newton backward interpolation, Newton central interpolation. There are many formulas like that. And if the difference were not equal, mean it was not equal spaced data, then we will use Lagrange interpolation formula, Aitken process, Newton divided difference interpolation formula. Okay, so let's going towards the formulas. This is the formula: f of x p f naught plus p delta. It is called delta. Okay, f naught divided by 2 1 factorial, and the next one would be 2 factorial, and the next would be 3 factorial, and it would be delta cube, and the next would be delta key 4, and so on. And also we will change phi minus 1, phi minus 1, phi minus 2, and the next one will be phi minus 1, phi minus 2, phi minus 3, and the next one will be phi minus 1, phi minus 2, phi minus 3, phi minus 4, and delta key 5. You can see delta key 4, the next one will be delta key 5 divided by 5 factorial. Okay, and so on. This is the formula after infinity. It goes to infinity. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, it's too easy formula. You're supposed to again what I am telling you, what I am explaining, you just focus on that. Okay, so you're supposed to keep in your mind and calculate this formula in your mind. It will be best for you. Okay, this is the Newton forward difference interpolation, and the same for the Newton backward are also. So just here's a delta, and if you write this for Newton backward, instead of delta we write just 0 nebula. Okay, and instead of p minus 1, there would be p plus 2, there would be p plus 1, p plus 2, p plus 1, p plus 2. Instead of negative sign, we write just positive sign. It's too easy. If you learn just one formula, it means that you learn all of the formulas. There are a little bit difference between these formulas. Okay, now we are going to solve an example by using Newton forward difference interpolation formula. There's a given value, given data. They have given this data to us, and we are supposed to uh, find interpolate for this value 0.125. Okay, this means this means that it is x of v, and we will they are calling for us that you are supposed to interpolate this formula for 0.125. Okay, at the x of v value. Okay, so we will make a tabulated table like that for that, for this given value, for this given data. Okay, so it is x, it is f naught, f of x, f naught, we can represent it by f naught. Okay, so it is x all data of x, it is all data of f naught. The next step of our will be like del f of naught, and the next would be like del square f of naught, and the next would be like del cube of naught, and so on. Okay, so if we subtract this value from this one, this it gives 0.27. We will subtract this value from this one, it gives us 0.25. Mean 0.52 minus 0.27, it gives us this 0.71 minus 0.52, it gives us this 0.84 minus 0.71, it gives this value. Okay, so and the same we will go okay, so 0.2 0.27, we will subtract these values from this one. Okay, 0.25 minus 0.27, it gives us 0.02 0.25, sorry, 0.19 minus 0.25 minus 0.06. Okay, it gives this value. And to subtract this from this, it gives this, because it is negative. And to subtract negative, multiply a negative, it would give positive value. So it would be like that: 0 minus 0.06 minus minus, there would be double negative, so the double negative will convert into positive. So it will give 0 because it is greater value than that. Okay, and the same, to subtract this one from this one, it will give 0, because 0 and multiply 0, it will be positive. And the last one will be 0.0004. Okay, so we will just put all these values and formulas, but there's a fee, and we are supposed to just find the value of phi. How we will find the value of phi? It is too easy to find the value of phi. Okay, so I'm going to how we will find the value of phi. So we know that this is a formula to find the value of phi. It is very easy formula: x of phi, which is given us x of phi, and x naught plus ph. There's just one point to 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 consider x naught values, such as to get the value of phi between 0 and 1. The value of phi must be between 0 and 1, means it would be greater than 0, it would be less than 1. Okay, so we are need to find phi values. So from question, as they are given a question that you are supposed to interpolate for these values, there's that as they have given us like that. You may have seen that. Okay, so from here we can say that the value of x of phi is 0.125. Okay, so we will consider the value of x of phi, that one value. And we will just first we will suppose the value of x naught, the first one. From here we can see that 0.125 comes between which two values of x. 0.125 comes and between these two values. Okay, you can guess from here that the 0.125 comes between these two values. So first we will consider these values of x naught, and second we will consider this value of x naught as to get the value of phi between 0 and 1. Okay, so you got it. Okay, so I'm going to that. So first I consider the value of phi, the x naught 0.00, as to get the value of phi between 0 and 1. And x naught is given, and the formula is this: xp equal to x naught. First I consider 0.00, because the value of phi were between the between these two values, between these two values. Then I'll just um, check for all these value, for all mean. First we will check for this one, and the second we will check for this one, so as to get the value of phi between 0 and 1. Between 0 and 1, we will just consider x naught first this, and then we will consider x naught this. Okay, so first I consider x naught this. You can see from here 0.0. So it gave us the value of phi. And h, how we will get the value of h? X1 minus x2, or x2 minus x1, or x3 minus x4. Because as I already told you that it is equal spaced data, and will give just the same difference between these values, and the difference between these will be same. So from here, x1 minus x0 or x2 minus x1, we can get the value of p as h by doing such as. Okay, so from here you can see that the value of h is with us, as I subtract from this value from this one. So clearly it gives us this. Okay, so the value of phi at x naught value, at x naught, if I consider x naught, so when I consider x naught, the value of phi comes between 0 and 1. Between 0 and 1, so it is okay. Now I am just checking uh, for this value also, because the value of phi between between these two one values, so I am also considering for it. Okay, so what will give us this? Okay, so let's, if I consider the value of x naught is 0.25, so the value of the value of phi at this one is 1.25, which is not up to the mark as for the requirement, because they have told us that the value of phi must be between 0 and 1. So this is a suitable point for us. 0.00 x naught, we will suppose we will consider x naught 0.00 because it gives us the correct value, because at this point we are getting the value of phi 0.5, which is the required value. Okay, so we will suppose x naught as our first point. So from here we will, as it is Newton forward, so as x naught on x naught, it gives us the value of phi between 0 and 1. So we will just start from here. If the value of phi came on 0.25 on this value at this point, if they given us the value of phi between 0 and, then we will consider this point, and we will go like that, like this one, like this one, like this. We will just come on this side. Okay, so because it is Newton forward, so we will come from upward to mean downward. Okay, so but now the value of phi is gives us correct value of phi is this, because we consider x naught and give us this the aftermark value. So if naught would be this value, and del f naught would be this, and del square f naught as and the formula, as in the formula, del square of naught would be this value, del cube of naught would be this value, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to put all the values, and the value of phi is 0.5. Okay, so this is the formula. I limit just the formula for del Q4, because as the question they have given the values, so it finished at delta Q4, delta Q4 f naught. From here you can see that the value of all the values finished at delta Q4, because the delta Q4 it gives us just the one value, and there's no other values to subtract it from that. So it means that we will just limit our formula just to delta Q4 as a limited formula. Just then I put all the values, as we know that the value of phi is 0.5, so I put the 0.5 and 0.27. From here we got this value from del f naught and f naught. We will write all the values from here. You can see from here f naught is this, del f naught is this, del square f naught is this. We'll put all the values, we'll go downward like that. Okay, because it is Newton forward. If it was Newton backward, then we'll go from this side. If our value will come at this point, then we will go like that. If it was backward formula, like this, but it is forward, so we will come down like this. Okay, so from here you can see that as I put all the values, del cube f naught values, which is minus 0.02. From here you can see minus 0.0t, and delta q minus 0.04, sorry, delta square minus 0.02, delta cube minus 0.04, delta square delta cube, sorry, minus 0.0, and delta q4 0.04. It is positive value, because so I put all the values of all that values I put in this formula, and 2 factorial, 3 factorial came on its own places. Okay, so then what I did, I just calculated all the values, and it gave this answer. Okay, uh, if there were some problems, then it would be my mistake. Okay, it would be my mistake. If you people found any problem in it, any value calculation problem, it would be value calculation problem mine. Okay, so it is too easy formula. You're supposed just to inculcate this formula, just to keep in your mind this formula. Okay, f naught plus p del f naught. Okay, so I hope that you have learned what I taught you. Okay, laugh is